What's going on, PC fan? Welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. We are here today to run down all the goings-ons in the basketball world, from the playoffs to all the breaking news. And y'all know the All-NBA teams just came out. So we'll definitely do that. Chill. Let's not waste no time. Let's get straight into some things. Draymond Green says that he lost his matchup to Julius Randle recently. He said the only other time he felt like he lost a matchup was in the finals against Pascal Siakam. He said Pascal Siakam kicked his ass. He actually compared Pascal Siakam a little bit to Boris Diaw.
Wow, that's interesting, man. Considering, Pascal Siakam, well, one coming from a defender like Draymond Green, I think that's high praise. That's number one.
Yeah,
coming from a defender like him. Number two, a guy like Pascal Siakam who doesn't, unfortunately for a lot of people, jump off the radar because his game isn't pretty, his game isn't flamboyant, but a lot of the stuff that he does is ridiculously effective. And I think that people take out Ox. He's 6'9". Like he's not like 6'6" or 6. He's 6'9". So a guy that's that big, that has that kind of orthodox style, like his handle is high. He's not super nice with the peel, but he's nice enough to get to the spots that he gets to. His arc on his shot, it reminds me of how Rasheed Wallace shot, where when Rasheed Wallace gets it up, you can't get to it. And it's very much like what's going on with Pascal Siakam, where when he gets that shot up at 6'9", going up against a 6'6" guy in Draymond Green, once he gets it up, it's pretty difficult to get to. On top of that, how good he is in transition. I mean, he's one of the better transition players in the game. I don't think we talk nearly as much about how athletic he is, but because it's not, quote unquote, pretty, a buddy of mine said to me yesterday, Ox, that the Knicks got the wrong African. They ended up.
No way. I mean, with that being said, Pascal gave something to everybody last night.
Yes, he did. It wasn't just one person.
He started off giving them to OG. You could see they were trying to get him matched up with Mikal. Yeah. But even when it was OG didn't have nothing for him either.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So it was he was getting at OG, he was getting at Mikal. I mean, Josh Hart was like, I felt bad for Josh Hart.
Yeah,
it
was almost like it was almost like Apollo Creed and Drago with Josh Hart. Like, yo, come over here and help this dude, because he can't do anything with him. No question about that. But I think that the most effective thing that I like about Pascal Siakam was there was really a lot of comfort in where he was. Like, he didn't really look like he was bothered too much about Josh Hart. He didn't look like he was bothered too much, which is shocking to me when I think about how good a defender OG Anunoby is. And I felt like he got snubbed on the all-league defensive team, by the way. And how good he is as an all-league as a defender, it didn't really look like it was that difficult for Pascal Siakam last night. It looked like every one of those guys that they threw at him, he seemed to have his way with them. And he was really calm. He was really patient with what he was doing. That elbow on the right side of the floor looked like his spot. And whenever he got Cat on him, he just ended up dragging Cat further away from the basket, and he just had his way with Cat. So, I mean, Draymond Green. For Draymond Green to say that he had a difficult time with Pascal Siakam, and that's a younger Pascal Siakam, by the way. That's not Pascal Siakam at 29 years old. That's in his prime. That's got the game more figured out today than he did back then. This is a second or third year Pascal Siakam who really didn't have it figured out. He was going primarily off athleticism and flight and energy. Well, last night, what I'm watching a guy who looks like, I know where I want to go. I know where I want to go. I know exactly what I want to do with whomever is covering me. Because, by the way, Ox, when he had Josh Hart on him, it wasn't like he just took Cat to the deep end. When he had Josh Hart on him, he dragged Josh Hart away from the basket. And then he put his head down and took Josh Hart to the rim, a smaller dude. When he had OG on him, he made sure that he recognized how OG was closing out on him. He always attacked that top foot. It was a one dribble pull up, or it was getting to the rim, whether he was getting fouled or whether he was making shots. I thought he did a great job against that Knicks
He was
defense.
he was catching OG in that mid post too. He was catching OG in that mid post, bang, coming with like the little Dirk fadeaway little shot. That was nice. He was knocking that down. I like that look from Pascal over the shoulder because, like you said, he shoots it up top, up here.
Yeah.
You can't get to that, especially if you're 6'6". If you're 6'6", I can't get to that. He's 6'9" with extremely long arms. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, you can't touch that. Only thing, if I can't block the shot, he's hitting that. So that was a really good game for Pascal Siakam.
Absolutely.
I was definitely. So speaking of it, let's get into that game. What did you see? How was this series looking? I mean, Indianapolis just came in there and took 2 in the Garden.
Not one.
So I mean, but they say the Knicks are really good on the road. So
yes, they are. But let's not forget who the Knicks are. I mean, was that series against the Celtics an anomaly? I mean, they against Oklahoma City, against Cleveland, against Boston. These how many times they beat them dudes on the regular season. So they haven't been good against the better team. That's why I was so shocked at what happened when they played against Boston. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, the 3-point variance is going to ultimately come back to bite you if that's all you rely on. Like, we got to do other things. The Celtics were in last place in the league at getting to the rim. No other team scored less at the rim than the Celtics. If that's what you solely rely on, that's going to be a problem. But I think the biggest problem that I had with the Knicks last night was their connectivity on defense. Ox, you being a coach, I saw Chris Paul say this too, but you being a coach, communication on defense is everything. We can't just be out here just running around. We got to talk to each other. We got to communicate with each other. And I felt like the Knicks last night, the communication between those guys was the detriment to their defense. I'm watching 2 guys go to 1 guy more than once, more than twice. And that's largely due to communication. I'm watching in transition where both, let's see, Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson both go to OG Anunoby. Not OG Anunoby. I'm talking about they go to Nembhard on the wing. Meanwhile, Pascal Siakam is wide open under the basket, and Tyrese Halliburton gets him for a layup. Well, that's communication, Ox. Talk to me, Ox. Who you got? Talk to me, Chill. Who you got? That we're not doing that. Then I get to the middle. I get to the middle of the beginning of the fourth quarter. When I'm in the beginning of the fourth quarter, I got a pick and dive action between both TJ McConnell and Turner. Well, I got a pick and dive action between those two. When that's working, both Cat and Mikal Bridges, they double the pick and dive. Well, I got Mitchell Robinson on the weak side of the floor. He's covering. So when Turner dives, he's covering. Sure. But then I don't have both Mikal Bridges or Cameron Payne talking to each other. Because why? Because I get both of those guys now to run to Pascal Siakam. Meanwhile, Turner is wide open underneath the basket. Nobody's talking to anybody. So then I want to fast forward, Ox, till we get later on in the game. We got the same kind of action. I got an overload on the weak side of the floor where I got Nembhard, I got Nembhard, I got Shepherd, and I got Nembhard, I got Shepherd, and I have Pascal Siakam on the weak side on the weak side of the floor. On the strong side of the floor, I got the same action with TJ McConnell and Turner. Well, I got this action going on, and Shepherd dives to the rim. With Shepherd diving to the rim, that's Cam Payne's man. Well, Shepherd dives to the rim. Mitchell ends up taking him, but they're not talking to each other. With them not talking to each other, he runs by him. Both Mitchell stays with him, and then Cam Payne is basically bumping into Mitchell. So both of those guys, they end up running straight to Pascal Siakam. With them running straight to Pascal Siakam, I get a wide open shot. There's no communication. We got to talk to each other, guys. I think that's one of their biggest problems on the defensive end. That's their biggest problem.
I think Mitch might be lacking that. Whereas when you have a guy like, we'll just go with KG because he was the ultimate. A backline guy that does all these things, protects the rim, rebounds, clogs up the paint, get physical, gets out to close, mobile.
Sure.
KG was talking loud. I don't really see Mitch directing traffic. I don't see Mitch being vocal. And I think if he added that aspect into his game, I think that'll really sew some things up for him and for his team as well. You know what I mean? Like that, being on that back line of the defense, whether we're playing matchup or we're in a matchup zone or whatever scheme we have, that communication from the back line is pivotal. And because chill, you're up top, I can see everything. You can't see anything behind you.
I don't know what's going on behind you, Ox. That's why you got to talk to me.
I know for a fact, anytime I was back there, I felt like I always had the point guy. I felt like I always had him on like a stick. Like I'm like, I got you. I'm directing. You go any way around. I got you. And I feel like that's how if Mitch could do that with Mikal, OG, Josh Hart, and I think it'll really help Jalen Brunson too.
Absolutely, he could, Ox. And that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about, because I look at the lack of communication. I think it's quote unquote more of a cool thing. Like, I don't see these guys talking because like that's not what guys do. When in reality, that's what the best defenders do. To your point, KG was balking, and KG just wasn't talking. KG was balking orders. Weak side help. Hey, watch the screen. He's doing the switch. I'm staying. Like we have to do that, because if we do that, then we're connected. And on top of that, Ox, when you talking like that, now I'm listening more as opposed to me just out here defending. I know that you're the eyes and the ears. If I'm at the top of the key, which is what Cameron Payne was yesterday, if he's at the top of the key, you're my eyes and ears of what's going on behind me. So if you see a screen and you talking to me, I'm listening for you talking to me. So I'm more aware. If I'm not, we're not connected. All we doing is just running around, and you'll find two guys covering one guy. What I didn't like, and I didn't even recognize this as time was going on, I didn't recognize, and I thought for the most part, Jalen Brunson is a solid defender, but Ox, they went after him yesterday. He was fooled.
I think they have to. As soon as they see him, is quick to it. But that's what I mean with Mitchell Robinson. I think Mitchell Robinson can help Jalen Brunson by getting him ready in advance.
Yeah.
Like if I'm behind JB and he's guarding Naismith, because Naismith was seeing him and going straight to it.
Yeah.
So it's like if I see him, but I see that there's no help middle, I'm telling JB instantly, send him baseline. Send the baseline. I'm here. I got you. Instead, JB kind of just, probing and reacting.
Yep.
I know he's going middle because I see help over here and I see a wide lane. So I'm telling him, send him the other way. I got you baseline, whatever, something to him. I think that helps Jalen Brunson reposition his body, get ready early. He needs those type of things. When you're an inferior defender, you need all the help you can get.
You 100% need all the help you can get. And I feel like with the lack of connectivity and the lack of communication, I feel like that was a huge reason why we saw what we saw with this team last night, Ox, because it didn't just spill over. It wasn't just in the half court. I mean, we can't leave out the fact that Rick Carlisle played 11 guys yesterday, Ox. He didn't play 7, or he played 11 guys yesterday. And it spilled over into the half court because their transition defense wasn't good neither, right? Their transition defense, when they're getting back, to your point, Ox, you're a big guy. You're running rim to rim. Well, when you're running rim to rim, I at the guard spot, if I'm the point of attack defender, I have to talk to these guys. Big fella, he's coming at you, right? I'm here at 21. I'm dealing with Pascal, or I'm dealing with Nembhard. I didn't see any of that, right? And I also didn't see these guys getting back on defense late in games. And the reason why I didn't see them getting back on defense late in games was because they were gassed. And I feel like, and I said this to you previous to the series, Ox, I know I said that the Pope went to Villanova, but the basketball points that I made was, I felt like this Indiana team, we don't have to exert as much energy because we have more guys to get what we want than you do. And I feel like later on, we're going to wear you down. And I feel like that's what was going on. I watched Mitchell Robinson as the game went on. He starts walking up the floor, and he needs more of a timeout, which goes back into my original point that, and Pat got on me yesterday about it when I said Precious Achiuwa has to play.
He has to play.
Even if it's only for 10 minutes, even if it's only for 5 minutes, he's got to be on the floor. He's got to give me something, whether it's a loose ball, whether it's a rebound, whether it's a body in the paint. He's got to play. Shammer has got to play. These guys, because
that's Landry Shammer, right? He's a vet. Landry Shammer's not going to go out there and do something that's going to throw the game away. If you lose, you're not going to lose because of playing Landry Shammer a couple minutes. Yeah.
You're not. That's not going to happen, Ox. You're not going to lose because if Landry Shammer is on the floor for 5 minutes, I mean, I don't think he can do anything worse than what Cameron Payne was doing. I don't think he
Not
can
at
do
all.
anything. I don't think he can do anything worse than what Miles McBride was doing. And don't get me wrong, I feel like Miles McBride made a couple of open shots, 100%. He gave energy on defense. But if I am going to get if I'm going to get maximum effort out of my crew, I got to maximize my crew. And if I'm only going to 7 guys primarily, that's not going to be enough. Don't let the exception. I said this to my buddy yesterday. I said, don't let the exception be the rule. What Joker did in 23 is the exception when they only had 7 guys. That's not normal. If you got a championship team and you're going deep into the playoffs, Ox, we need 9 guys. And I need all 9 of my guys. If I only, to your point as a coach, this series, I might only need you for 10 minutes a night. But this series, I might need you for 25 minutes. You have to be prepared to play. But there's no on any level, there's no way on any level that you're not gonna play. We have to play you.
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that to not put Precious Achiuwa on the floor. Because we saw last night, Mitchell Robinson trot up the court on offense, get beat down the court on defense. They were laying the ball up. He didn't even cross the 3-point line. Sure. Then walk up on offense. They call a timeout. They go to the timeout, come back in the game, and Mitchell Robinson's still in the game.
Still
like, coach, do you think that 45 seconds of sitting is gonna bring him back? You gotta at some point. Precious has to play. Thomas Robinson went out. Miles Turner went out, and the I can't even remember the kid's name that they brought. Tony Bradley. Yep. Tony Bradley. He got some minutes. They won the basketball game. Yes, so when I hear things like, and I heard it from Pat, heard it from Mars, heard it from maybe George, somebody else say if you play Precious Achiuwa at all, you lose the game. I can't disagree with that more. And I couldn't disagree with that more than I disagree with it right now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Precious Achiuwa is not a bad basketball player. He might not be a top-tier player. He might not ever be an all-star, all-NBA, but he can provide things. He's an athlete. He's physical. He's aggressive. We're playing the most physical team in the NBA, right? That's what I've been hearing. Let Precious rock. You can put him in the game, and if in the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes, he's not giving you nothing, all right, come sit down, Precious. But what you did, you let Mitchell Robinson, you let Mitchell Robinson rest. Yep. You let Cat rest. That's what it's about. That's why when you look down in the box scores and stuff, when you look down further, you'll see 3 guys. One of them might have played 4 minutes. One of them played 7. One of them played 9.
And that could be enough.
That's what they're here for.
That could very well be enough right there. You gave me 5 minutes. You dove on because those extra possessions that Mitchell Robinson is giving you on the offensive glass. Well, if he's fresher because Precious Achiuwa played 8 minutes, Precious Achiuwa played 10 minutes, that's a big deal. So he can give you more energy. If he can get if Precious Achiuwa can give you a couple of more minutes for Cat, well, that's Cat being able to play deep into the fourth quarter. Don't get me wrong, Ox. I know that once the summertime comes, like, we prepare for this stuff. We prepare to play deep into the playoffs because we are the most physically conditioned athletes, sure. But we do have guys who are backups who need to play. And when those guys play, that gives us more of an advantage. The thing I'm seeing vividly right now is I'm seeing Mitchell Robinson literally walking up the floor in the middle of the floor. He's walking up the floor. And by the way, Ox, we're in the meat and potatoes of the game. This isn't a game where, we got like a 9-0 run or we're down 12 or 15. No, we got a ball game going on. And if this guy is gassed, don't get me wrong, I'm going to use my timeouts. But if I got bodies available that can give me a couple of minutes, give me something. If you can give me a couple of minutes, like Precious Achiuwa, like Shammer, like Campaign, like Miles McBride. When I get guys like that, I have to find minutes for them, especially in the playoffs. Because again, Rick Carlisle, he had 11 guys play yesterday. My 11 guys beats your 8 guys. They do.
They do. Chill. At this point, if I'm ownership in the Knicks, I'll be upset. Like, Tibbs, what am I paying these dudes for?
Why they here?
You know what I'm saying? Can I stop paying them, please? Can we just send them somewhere else? Y'all go somewhere else and get paid. We're gonna have an 8-man roster. I'm gonna save me some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not paying these dudes to watch them run up and down the court before they. Nah, hell nah. I need that. Y'all got to go somewhere else. I'm not paying it. That's how I would feel
Or
about it
play
if I
them.
was on
Or play these
or
guys.
or playing, right?
That's it.
So you just brought up Rick Carlisle.
Yeah.
Thank you, Duke Baylox, in the chat for saying what you just said, but I've been trying to muster up the words to say. Shout out to Rick Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
That man is coaching a hell of a basketball team. You can see he's doing some coaching. He's enabling his team to play. He's coaching. This is what we always talk about with the Mike Tomlin quote about coaches need to go back to coaching. Coaches don't want to coach no more. Coach got to coach. And Rick Carlisle, Coach Carlisle, you are doing some coaching, sir.
Yes, he is.
So you are doing
Yes.
some really, really inspiring coaching. This is the type of coaching that inspires young coaches to keep coaching and be great. I got to say it. I love it.
I've always felt like Ox, a good coach, what he does is he puts you in space where you're the most successful, and what you don't know how to do, I'm going to keep you away from that, right? I'm going to put you in a spot where what you know how to do, we're going to enhance that. What you're not good at, we're not going to touch that. And I feel like with Rick Carlisle, he does exactly that with his team. Number one, I was watching that game yesterday, and Pat brought up a really interesting point. Indiana is a lot more physical than I give them credit for. They are a lot more physical than I give them credit for. They close out harder. Not only do they close out harder than I give them credit for, when they do close out and when a guy is trying to get to the basket, they don't foul, but they are physical. That's coaching. That's 100% coaching. That's nothing else but coaching. Being able to understand how I'm closing out, what side I'm going to close out on, who I'm going to give a shot up to, when I'm going to close out. Because if Miles McBride is going to shoot that jump shot in the second quarter and make that, all right, if that rim might look a little bit different in late in the third or in the fourth quarter. That basket might not be as big, so I might not close out as hard. Especially if they're on, if we got a nip and tuck game, I might not close out as hard on him. That's coaching, where Coach Carlisle can tell them hard. Listen, don't close out on him as hard as hard as you did previously. And not only that, with his rotations, he knows exactly how to use TJ McConnell. He knows exactly how to use Thomas Bryant. I did think that Thomas Bryant was asking for the basketball. When he was asking for it, he didn't get it. And I understand your point, Ox. We're not going to him. But I did see Coach Carlisle give Thomas Bryant a pat on the backside, like, big fella, keep working down there. Now, that's motivation for me, right? That's coaching, because that's motivation for me to know, don't worry about it. I'll take care of these other guys. You keep working down there in that positioning. Keep getting on keep asking for the ball in this space instead of not saying anything. That's coaching right there. Not only is that coaching, when I got Tony Bradley on the floor and I'm putting Tony Bradley in space, is it Tony Bradley? Is that his name?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. When I got Bradley on the floor, and I got Bradley on the floor specifically to just be a dirty work guy, and I'm putting him in space with the correct lineup, with him, Neesmith, and Nembhard, where all he has to do is get on the glass. All he has to do is be a body in the paint, and I'm coaching him. Shift. Watch the backside. I feel like Coach Rick Carlisle, I think he's doing such a great job in managing his team, as opposed to Tibbs, who I don't think that he's doing nearly as good a job as Coach Carlisle is. And by the way, Ox, Coach Carlisle, I understand what Duke is saying about you don't like him for some odd reason. He does have one of those faces that you want to punch him in the face. I can dig that. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of my dislike for Coach Carlisle is Rajon Rondo. that's where most of it comes from. Like I've always liked the Mavericks with Dirk and then Mike Finley, all those dudes. I always liked the Mavericks. So that was what threw me off for with Carlisle, was the whole Rajon Rondo thing. I'll take that type of stuff personally.
Because I know how you feel about Rajon Rondo. I know how you feel about Rondo.
So I don't mess with Carlisle, just like I don't mess with Stephon Marbury.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I hold grudges, but
yes,
it
but I
it
do
don't
feel
got
like,
nothing to do with me.
is this the? Because I think Rick Carlisle is out coaching Tibbs right now. I do 100%. I do feel like that, but I also feel like Tibbs has done his job in out coaching teams too. Like I feel like he out coached JB Bickerstaff when he was in Cleveland. I think Bickerstaff did a better job when he was in Detroit, but in this particular situation, he's getting out coached right now, and I'm wondering if they lose this series, is Tibbs out? Because I'm thinking to
Well,
myself,
nobody's safe, Chill. Nobody's safe right now because Michael Malone is just.
he was at the game last night.
You know what I'm saying? Michael Malone, Michael Malone, Mike Brown, Taylor Jenkins, them dudes are all just out there.
Danny
You know what I'm saying?
Hurley.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's safe right now. And Tibbs for sure ain't safe. Because Chill, I want to go back to Mike Tomlin.
Yep.
I'm when it comes to coaching, I live by this. For you to not be able to play Landry Shamet, Precious Achiuwa, that's your fault. You have players, and just because these are professional athletes, they're obviously good enough to be in the NBA.
Sure.
So everybody's not going to be an all-star, superstar level player, but you still in a basketball game have to figure out how to utilize these guys.
Yes.
That is, I think, one of the biggest parts of coaching. How do I make not very good players help us win? That's the problem. You got to solve it.
Sure.
You have to solve that problem. How do I do this? That's your job as a coach. You know what I'm saying? You can't just run these dudes into the ground.
I also think it's fair too, Ox, because to your point, there is somebody in that coaches meeting going, yo, we got to find minutes for Shammer. We got to find minutes for, and it might go on deaf ears. I'm not saying that he's being listened to, but he's saying, yo, we got to find minutes for Precious. We got to find minutes for Shammer. And here's how I think we can find minutes for these guys. And to maximize, because I've seen Precious Achiuwa get on the glass. I've seen Precious Achiuwa finish around the rim. I've seen Precious Achiuwa get to the 50-50 balls. I've seen Precious Achiuwa block a shot. I've seen Precious Achiuwa play defense. I've seen him be serviceable. I've seen Shammer in the playoffs when he was with the Clippers be serviceable. You're not going to sell me that all of a sudden Landry Shammer is completely unplayable in the playoffs. Why was he playable in the playoffs 2 years ago when he was playing with the Clippers, and now he's not? Why is all of a sudden he get on this Knicks team and it gets shortened to a 7-man rotation? Coach, what is your issue with Shammer? Why can't he cover on the wing? Why can't he be put in space where he can knock down open shots? Because if we're being honest, this Indiana team, as physical as they are, you're going to need all the offense that you can get. And if I can get some extra buckets from Shammer, if I could get a tip in, if I could get an extra offensive rebound from Precious Achiuwa, if I can get that, I got to get these guys some run. I have to find that. And to your point, Ox, if Coach Tibbs wants to win this series, he's got to dig in that bench because Rick Carlisle's not going to stop. I can tell you that right now, Ox. He's not going to stop. He's going to continue to play 9, 10, 11. He's going to find run for these guys and run these guys in the ground. That's going to happen.
Yeah. One more thing I just got to say before we move on, Chill.
Sure.
Coach Thibodeau showed us who he was in that closeout game against Boston when they were up 30, 40 points, and he had OG, Mitchell Robinson, and Mikal Bridges, all them dudes still in the game.
Jalen Brunson didn't come out till almost 5 minutes left in the game, and
he showed us
40.
He showed us his intentions right there, so we can't be surprised. Last night's game it was a good one. Ended up coming down to the wire. Jalen Brunson missed the tying 3. A lot of us were kind of questioning that shot, but he shot it. I want to ask you because Q Rich, I'm not sure what show he was on. He says that Jalen Brunson is on his way. He's on pace to being the best Knick or greatest Knick of all time. He gave some interesting points. He was talking about how Jalen Brunson he basically took the pay cut. He's talking about things like that. And when you start bringing those things up, I kind of start listening to him. I still am not sure, but he said if he wins the championship, guaranteed. But even if he doesn't win the championship, he's still on pace. How do you feel about that, Chu?
I think that one of the best players to ever play for an organization, one of the main reasons why they are considered that is because of longevity. And Jalen Brunson has been with the Knicks for 3 years. For him to be in that conversation right now with Ewing and Walt Frazier and Willis Reed, I just don't think it's fair. Off the strength that I don't think he's been there long enough. Don't get me wrong. I can appreciate what winning does. I can appreciate because I'm a big advocate of winning. I care about winning, no doubt about that. But I also care about how long you were here. I also care about what you did while you were here. I also care about when you did it too. So with a guy like Jalen Brunson, who, for all intents and purposes, Ox, he does have the most 30-point games in Knick history. That includes Carmelo Anthony. That includes Ewing, right? That includes Walt Frazier. I can get with that. Sure. I'm not gonna.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna scoff at that. Yes, that's a big deal. However, it says a lot when you are on a team that's consistently going deep into the playoffs year after year after year after year, and you are contributing mightily to this team. I mean, Ox, the Knicks won an NBA championship 3 times. I mean, they won an NBA championship twice in 4 years. They was in the NBA championship 3 times in 5 years. 3 times in 4 years. 70, 71, 72, 73. So 4 years. They was in the NBA championship 3 times. Walt Frazier was the starting lead guard for that team, right? And he played 10 years for the Knicks. He was an all-league defender. He was averaging 18 a game, put 36 and 16 on Jerry West in Game 7, and kicked his ass again in 73. I mean, that's a big deal when you're talking about being an all-time great, right? So when I think about what Jalen Brunson is right now is he's good for the Knicks. When you're talking about being an all-time great, yo, you got to be around for a while, brother. You do. You have to be around for a while, and you got to do a lot more than just go deep into the playoffs. You got to be around for a while and continue to do that.
This is season 3 for Jalen, right?
Yes, sir. He's been there 3 years.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you on that, Chill. It's just how that's just so choosy from these Knicks fans. These Knicks fans, they just thirsty. They just want to love somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dangerous. You know what I mean? That's dangerous. You can't be out here just thirsty and just fall in love with the first chick that show you some interest, man. You gotta relax, man. Live your life. That's just thirsty. He been here for 3 years, and y'all talking about he's already they put him over Melo, all types of shit. These dudes are sick.
Like Ewing wasn't top 3 in the league in MVP votes when Jordan and Olajuwon was running around. Like, he wasn't doing that. Like, that wasn't going on, right? Like, Walt Frazier wasn't in the NBA championship 3 times.
Walked out of the ring.
2 of them, Ox. 2.
Oh, come on.
2 of them. We ain't win it once. We won it twice with me at the lead guard spot.
That's just
all-star,
thirsty.
all-league defender. Yeah. That's me. I did that. I was here for 10 years. I did that.
And
that was going on.
They bitter because you ain't missed that shot. He missed that layup.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have dunked it, but shit, I mean.
He was dealing with an Achilles injury at the time, but I don't really pay attention to a lot of that stuff, because if you're on the floor, for me, if you're on the floor, you're ready to go. And Ewing was still a beast. He just missed
as a basketball player, though. Like, even forget all the other stuff. As a basketball player, Jalen Brunson will never be better than Carmelo Anthony. Okay, guys. So
you can't sell me that, Ox. You can't. No matter how good, how shifty, how quote unquote big body, he will never be better than Carmelo Anthony. You can't sell me that. Sorry.
But I mean, the big body thing is kind of just like, you know how when you call it, you know how when you meet a big dude, heavy dude, his name is Slim.
Yeah.
All right, but come on, like, he ain't nothing big about Jalen Brunson. He might be stocky, but that's a little dude.
if we keeping it a bean.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like, Melo really like that. And with all due respect to Jalen Brunson, because I got nothing but love for JB. Y'all know how I feel. I feel like he go band for band with anybody. Always said. I was saying it last night when he was hitting those shots. And he balled out. You have to be an incredible basketball player to be in these talks, right? To even have people saying these things about you. Mm-hmm. But I think the Knicks fans are just being a little thirsty, being awfully choosy right now, and they should just calm down and let JB play basketball.
I mean, I think that he's doing what exactly other guards do against. I mean, I think he's averaging almost 40 and 6, 40 and 6 against this Knicks team. I mean, against this Indiana team. And I've never really been a big fan of point guards that shoot a lot. Never really been a big fan of that, ever. And I never will be, because I always felt like you as a lead guard, your job is to get other guys involved, and then your offense comes. And I feel like he might shoot a little bit much for me. That's why I was never really a big Tony Parker fan, right? But with that being said, I won't deny how good he's been. I will never deny how good he's been and how much he's affected the New York Knicks offense. No doubt about that. I won't affect that. I won't do that. But if we're going to talk about him like we talk about Walt Frazier, like we talk about Carmelo Anthony, like we talk about Patrick Ewing, like we talk about Willis Reed, if we're going to talk about him like that, he got more work to do. He just does.
Yeah, definitely does. We got some other news in the NBA, though. First I want to talk about Steve Kerr again because we talked about it last Saturday, I believe.
Sure.
Some comments that was made about him and Jonathan Kuminga, and it seems like a lot of people are very interested in that. It seems like whenever he's doing an interview or on a show or anything, they're instantly asking about the future of Jonathan Kuminga.
Yep.
And he had some interesting things to say. He pretty much said that JK, they want him to get better here. They think he can get better somewhere else, but they want him to get better in the Bay. He hasn't really been around the facilities that much in the past, but they expect him to be this summer. Apparently, he has a young family now, young girls, I guess, and that's turning, got him more at home, focused on working out here.
Sure.
And Steve Kerr said that they're really, really pressing with JK that he has to get loose balls, rebounds, long rebounds. They really want him to use his athleticism, and they think that he can do that. So that's what they want from him, is him to be that big wing, the big athlete that plays defense, gets long boards, uses athleticism to make hustle plays, 50-50 balls, extra opportunities. And he thinks if he can do that, that's how he will fit in with Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler. So what do you think about that being said? You think JK can be that guy?
I do think he could be. The question is, does he want to be? Because again, Ox, when you put in space where you think that you're one thing, but the organization thinks that you're another, okay, well now we're butting heads, and now it becomes an idea of not necessarily who's going to blink first, but where does the compromise come in? Because if JK is being looked at as a dirty work guy, is he being looked at am I being looked at as a dirty work guy? Is this all you want me to do? Or the other things in my game, is that going to help me also? Am I going to be able to showcase that too? Because I'm not just a dirty work guy. I'm not just a guy who's going to dive on the floor for loose balls and rebound the basketball and run in transition. I can do more things than that on the offensive end, on the defensive end. I can take the assignment. Right? I can play in isolation. I can do those things. If you only see me as this, well, maybe this isn't the place for me. Maybe I do need to play somewhere else where my skills will be maximized. However, if we do come to a compromise where, okay, if you show me that you can do these things on a consistent basis, maybe we will add more stuff to our playbook where we're getting you more involved in the game offensively as a one-on-one player. We are looking for you more in transition. We want you to handle the ball more in transition in terms of you getting the ball off the glass and going with it. If you can show that you can do these things, I think that's where the compromise comes in, Ox, as opposed to, well, we only see you as this. Well, if you only see me as this, and I'm definitely much more than that, and you're only going to give me a chance to just do this, then maybe this isn't the place for me. Maybe I should be somewhere else where they're going to maximize my skills.
Yeah, I think so. And like we spoke about last time, Chill, I just hope that the Warriors are respect that and are okay with that and just let him go. You know what I mean? No need to match any offers. Let's just let him go. Let him be free. Let him do his thing. You know what I mean?
Ox,
I think that's the best way.
Ox, you can't turn her into something that she's not, B. I mean, okay, she can't. She says that she can really cook. Okay, but you haven't really allowed her to do that. You think that she's just cleaning. You're good for cleaning. You're good for hanging around the house. I ain't really feeling you. I ain't really feeling you at the stove too much. So nah. Show me that you can keep the house cleaner better than you do. Show me that when we go out, you know how to act. Then I'll let you get in the kitchen. You know what? Maybe this ain't the place for me. Maybe you ain't the dude for me because I'm really nice in the kitchen. And if you ain't gonna let me get busy in the kitchen, then we probably should go our separate ways.
No doubt. And some other news, we got some WNBA games last night, y'all. Nneka Ogwumike put on a show up in Seattle against the Mercury. She had 24 and 8. Last night, the rookies, Kiki Arifian. I've always had trouble saying their names. Kiki, y'all know what I'm talking about. Kiki, Sonia Citron, they put on a show, but it wasn't enough. Jackie Young came through with 25 points, and Asia Wilson, the GOAT, had a double-double, 15 and 12. Sure. Chill. I think the fees are coming for that this year.
Well, Ox, I started paying more attention to her, and Jordan turned me on to her even more. the thing I'm watching about her is I'm watching how she dissects the game and
Mm-hmm.
spaces that she knows she's effective in, and her timing with going to those spaces. What that suggests to me, Ox, is that suggests to me somebody that the game is slowed down for them. Like, I don't have to play at this furious pace. I'm not going to let you speed me up. I'm not going to let you slow me down. I'm going to play at the pace that I can play at, where I'm the most effective. But she is so effective in the mid post and in the mid range. But the thing that I enjoy about her the most, and I know that I talk about guys who are exceptions like Joker and Magic and Curry. Ox, this woman will defend. She will sit in a chair
Oh
and
yeah.
she will get them hands busy. She will get on that glass. She will rebound. You are not pushing her around. She is not, she doesn't commit dumb fouls. I love that about her. She's really talkative on defense. I love that about her. Everything about her game suggests that she's the ultimate pro. The ultimate pro. I can tell you what, though, I don't like what I'm seeing from Angel Reese, Ox. I don't. I don't like what I'm seeing from her.
Oh my goodness. K-Dot,
like,
no, you definitely. Hey, K-Dot, my bad. You definitely right. I had the stats and everything printed up or pictured on my phone, and I meant to definitely bring up Skylar Diggins. She had 24 and 14. K-Dot, thank you for calling me out on that. Skylar Diggins definitely was her. And then that Kuminga show last night. I only got to watch the second and third quarter. You know, I was working last night. We had playback, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't see the whole game, but Skylar Diggins, she got busy last night, 24 and 14 for sure. But yeah, to your point though, back to Fee. Nafisa, I mean, Marina Mabry, she had 22 last night, but Nafisa was too much. 33 and 11. She's balling. She looked like she want that MVP. Chill, I gotta say, Angel got to get at this point. She got to get her shit together.
Get it together, Ox.
It's cool. You know what I'm saying? The hustle plays, getting you on rebounds and stuff like that. That stuff is cool when that happens every once in a while, and it's a big momentum shift, and you flexing on them. But golly, girl, please.
Dennis Rodman was a rebound machine, but he can lay the ball up.
At this point, I gotta just say, like, you need to let the social media shit and worrying about the war between you and Caitlin Clark, let that go. You're not on Caitlin Clark's level.
You're not.
Angel, nowhere near Caitlin Clark's level. There is no me and her. This is not Magic and Bird. This is not Magic and Bird, okay?
No,
Caitlin Clark is by far a better, superior player. She's by far. So this thing that's going on between fans and on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever it's happening, it needs to stop with you, Angel. You need to be the bigger person and bow out of this. Don't egg it on. Don't be on TV talking about it's not just her, it's us too. Let her do her thing. You do your thing. You need to focus on making layups. Okay, you're a great rebounder, great athlete, hell of a basketball player, but there is no rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. They're not on the same level.
They're not.
Okay. We don't. I don't care. I don't care about whatever everybody else is trying to turn this into some race thing and make it about, oh, it's just because she's the white girl or she's the black. No. Caitlin Clark is by far better than Angel Reese. Angel Reese is the work on her game.
That's not that's fact.
That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it.
There is with her, Ox, is because when I think about positioning, when I think about rebounding, when I think about the space, like, she creates space. Great rebounder, great in position. She always puts herself in position to score. Is it upstairs? I think it's upstairs, Ox. I do. I think it's upstairs with her, because there's no way that as a big, and that's how she's considered. She's considered one of the big girls. We go over this stuff when she was in the 8th grade, when she was in 9th grade, when she's in the 12th grade, when she was at Maryland, when she was at LSU. We do mic and drills, right? Not only do we do mic and drills, we do rip throughs where you go to the rim and score the basketball. We go over this stuff. We go over rebounding drills and putbacks. We go over that stuff. This isn't something that's new. You are a pro. You are not a good player. You are a pro. You are a professional. So as a professional, this has to be upstairs for me, because there's no way that all of this stuff that we went over for all of this time, all of a sudden, it's just not working. What's going on?
She just, it's got to be something, because she's just throwing the ball at the rim.
Literally.
Like, there's no flick, there's no touch. She just,
yes.
Like, girl, be soft with it. Be gentle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe she's just doing the mic and drill like this. She's not doing the one in front with the little touch shot. She's not doing any form shooting, getting up on her toes, getting it soft. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? You don't shoot the ball with this. You shoot the ball with your wrist and your feet. You know what I'm saying? Flick your wrist. You know what I mean? Have some touch. I think maybe I don't know. Chill. It might be something mental. Maybe she does need to just black out. Just black out for a while, and you know, and do an Aaron Rodgers, you know, just go into the darkness for a little.
And I can appreciate you being on social media because you know that may be part of your bag. Okay, and I'm not gonna argue that. That might be part of your bag. I'm not gonna argue that.
Chill. I got to give you a little pushback on that real quick though, because chill. That might be part of your bag, but you are a basketball player. That is a part of your bag because you were one of the better players in the country at LSU. Sure. And so if you now are using that as your platform to make more money, but now you're focused on that and you're getting your brain is into all this out here and you can't focus on basketball. If the mental is messing you up, you got to black out for a while. Yes. Leave it alone, focus on your craft and get back to that.
I can get with that. I can get with that logic. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I respect the brand though. Do what you got to do, Angel. I mean, but you got to make some layups. This shit is ridiculous.
You have to. And again, Ox, to your point, you know, I knew it. Basketball, if we're being honest, I mean, she said this. She said that the WNBA didn't cover her rent last year. Like her money was on social media. That's where the bread was. Here's the difference. The difference is that all of this social media stuff that you got going on, none of that happens if you ain't a pro. None of it. Nobody cares about you in bikinis and all of that good stuff if you're not playing for the Chicago Sky. If you didn't play at LSU, nobody's paying attention to that. So because of that, you have to get back to being a basketball player to enhance whatever it is that this bag that you have over here is going. You have to get back to basketball. And she actually was working with Lisa Leslie in the offseason in terms of getting buckets. She was working with Lisa Leslie. The question is are you taking that and are you applying it mentally? Because it's not like, I mean, I could teach you the technique. I can teach you how to get off. I can teach you how to get off the floor. The question is are you applying the stuff that I'm teaching you when you're working out, number one, and then two, are you bringing that into the game?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Whatever it is, she got to lock in because, I mean, you got players out here. NECA is a vet. She's been around for a long time, and she's balling. Asia is balling. Nafisa is balling. Breonna Stewart, she's a vet. She's been around for a long time, and she's still coming with it. Aaliyah Edwards is balling. Aaliyah Boston is balling. You know what I mean? Kiki is balling. So, you know what I'm saying? You at this point, I mean, Ryan Howard, they're all balling. You know what I'm saying? So Angel, at this point, you got to step it up on that hardwood. And I believe she has a promising future because she's a hell of an athlete, a tremendous rebounder, and I think that's going to keep her around. So I think if she can lock in and get the offensive side of the court right, I think she'll be okay. But I mean,
I am paying more attention to Aneka this season because last season when you told me, Ox, that in this season too, she is a little long in the tooth, but she sure don't look like it. She damn sure don't look like it. No, she doesn't.
She was giving Alyssa Thomas and them all they can handle last night.
Anything they was looking for. The big girl down low got it. Everything. Everything.
But yeah, so that's that in the WNBA. Chill, I want to get to these all NBA teams that just came out. So I want to know, do you think that it was the correct teams? First of all, matter of fact, let's run them down for everybody that doesn't know what the teams were. Chill, what we all know the first team. What was the first team? It was go ahead. What was
first team was Joker, Giannis, SGA, Tatum, and Donovan Mitchell. And I got that right.
Is that the correct one?
Yeah, I got that right. I had gone back and forth between Donovan Mitchell and Anthony Edwards, and there was a stretch between that West Coast road trip that Cleveland went on, and when Anthony Edwards was playing really well, I felt like Anthony Edwards may have edged him. But for the most part, I had Donovan Mitchell for the majority of the season. I thought he was a first team All Pro. I did feel like that. That second team was that second team. Let me make sure I get this right, Ox. I don't want to give you any bad information. I want to just bear with me for a second because I remember exactly what it was. Let's see here. So that second team was, let's see. The second team I got right here, Ox, it was Jalen Brunson, Curry, Anthony Edwards, James, and Mobley. Well, I had Curry on the third team. I had Cat on the second team. Right. I got Mobley right. I got Brunson right. I got James right. I had Edwards right. But I had Curry on the third team and I had Cat on the second team.
Okay.
Yes. And then the third team, because I want to make sure I don't give you any bad information, Ox. So let's see here. That third team, this was interesting. So we got Cade. It was all guards. I'm sorry. It was 4 guards and 4 perimeter players in Cat. It was Cade, Halliburton, James Harden, Cat, and J-Dub. Now, I had Cade on the crew. I thought Cade had a fantastic season. I thought he definitely was an All-Pro. I did not have Halliburton as an All-Pro. No, I didn't, Knox. I'd be lying if I said I had Trae Young. Right? I had Trae Young on here. I didn't have James Harden either. I had Triple J as an All-Pro. I had Cat on the team, and there was somebody else that I had. I did not have J-Dub on that third team.
So you didn't have J-Dub, and you didn't have James Harden, but instead you had Trae Young and Triple J.
I had Trae Young and Triple J on third team All-Pro. I didn't have Halliburton either. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Damian Lillard, that's who I had. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So Dame didn't.
No, Dame did not make it. And I think that was largely due to Dame getting injured. He ended up missing that last month of the season. I thought Dame was gonna be an All-Pro. I thought that the way he was playing, he was having one of his better seasons, especially late in his career. Yes, that's where I had him at. So those 3 guys are the guys that I had on it. These 3 guys I didn't. I'm going to tell you something, Ox, because I know that we're going to segue into this, but we got a money situation in Oklahoma City that we got to figure out.
Oh, yes, right. Yeah. I was
in Oklahoma City that we got to figure out. Yes, we do, Ox.
Well, let's talk about it right now. Chill. We're talking about J-Dub, right?
Yes, we are.
So how does that work?
So as of today, SGA is eligible for an extension next season of almost $76 million. Well,
okay.
J-Dub, he's up after next year, and he's eligible for a supermax. And why is he eligible for a supermax? Because one of the parameters of getting a supermax is within 2 years of being up for a contract, you have to have made an All-Pro team. Here we are. J-Dub just made third team All-Pro. So after next season, he's up for a supermax. So we may be looking at a situation with both J-Dub and SGA getting paid like Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, which works in Boston because of that market. I don't know if it works in Oklahoma City, Ox. That's the problem. And on top of that, Chet is up after that. So after next year, Chet is up the year after that. This is why maximizing your rookies and maximizing these rook deals is so important, because you don't have these guys for that long. Eventually, you're going to lose them.
So essentially what happened is the voting of the All-NBA teams saved Memphis.
100%. 100%.
Put OKC in the hole.
Well, I'm glad you brought Memphis up, Ox, because if you think about who Memphis is and who Oklahoma City is, the more I watch Oklahoma City, they are who Memphis was supposed to be. If you rewind the clock back 3 years ago when they were the number 2 seed and Ja Morant was in MVP talks, SGA is who Ja was supposed to be. The high-flying wire act, the future of the NBA. This Memphis team is young with Dylan Brooks and Triple J and Ja Morant. This is what this team looked like, and this is where they were supposed to go. In Oklahoma City, nobody was really talking about. We weren't talking about Oklahoma City like this 3 years ago in 2022, 2023. We weren't talking about them like that. Here we are right now in 2020, in 2025, and everything that Memphis should have been, that great defensive team, the team that gets up and down the floor with the best of them. They have a star. They got a great defensive team. They got a great defensive player in Triple J, who, by the way, was the defensive player of the year. They have all of that now, on Oklahoma City, and this is a team that looks like they're supposed to win. Looks like they may be winning the NBA championship. So I feel like everything that Memphis was supposed to be, Oklahoma City has become that, and because they become that, they kind of knocked Memphis out the box.
Yeah, certainly did, no doubt. I see those. So those are the snubs you said that you were from what you had. Trae Young, Damian Lillard, Triple J. A lot of people think Zubac should have made
KD
it.
By the way, Ox. KD too.
So we're just not gonna talk about Domantas Sabonis.
We can discuss it.
What's up? We're just gonna pretend like Domantas don't exist now. Like, what's going on, man? God damn! I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. Look, fuck. Oh, I don't even want to do. I don't even want to talk about it. Forget about it. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Let me just get to the lobby. Brack's been back here waiting for a minute. Let me. Brax, what's up, bro?
What up, man? What you call it? Hey, you see where my boys at? Yeah, you see. That's what I want to get down to. You see, we about to head to the. Well, I ain't gonna say too much because we've been in.
Tonight's game is going to tell me everything about this series. Tonight's game is going to tell me whether or not we going deep into the series or we ain't going back to Oklahoma City.
Chill. Let me tell you something, brother. I've been up 3-1 before. I'm not.
You know what that looked like. You know what it looked like.
I'm not saying nothing until we get to that point. But you feel me? I'm excited, man.
You see me check with your name on it. You just ain't cashing it yet.
Yeah, I was like, oh. Like, you feel me? So we go wait till the bank call me. So
money here, yo, you straight, you good. The money here.
Yeah, for sure. But what you call it? I'm excited, man. I've been seeing people talk about they don't think Indiana and Oklahoma like that is bad for business basketball. I think it would be amazing. To be honest, I would love to see the way, based off the way Indiana plays and based off the way we play. I actually think that would be like a not perfect matchup series because I still think we would win pretty handedly. Not gonna lie, but I would love to see the dynamics of that. Like, what do y'all like kind of think about that?
Well, the reason why you would love to see it because you're already on the hook. You're a basketball guy, so the problem is Tyrese Halliburton isn't a household name. Miles Turner isn't a household name. SGA is becoming something of a household name, right? So the finals, the reason why they've been what they've been, as much as we can't stand, James and Curry. I mean, that's star power, right? There's a mother in the kitchen that's, I gotta go shopping this weekend. 6 years ago, because my son likes this Steph Curry kid, and now she's watching him. She don't really know nothing about basketball. She doesn't know anything about basketball, but she know that my son loves Steph Curry, and I gotta go get him a pair of Steph Currys. So we kind of got to get to that space. I feel like we got to get to that space with SGA. We ain't there yet. Like we got to get to that space with Chet. We're not there yet, and I think that because of people like you, because of people like me, we already on the hook. We're gonna watch anyway. The other people are the people like the water cooler guys. Those are the people that the NBA is trying to get on the hook. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that introducing them to the NBA and introducing them to guys like SGA, I think that's going to help, but they ain't household names yet. So I think that that's where the ratings might suffer.
And to be honest with you, I mean, first of all, I think the NBA should have been pushing these names. Like, we shouldn't be waiting on Bron, Curry, KD to leave for this to become an issue.
Oh, fucking time.
But yeah. So it's like
still been here for 22 years, man. What we doing?
It's
Why
like
still on this
train? It's like better late than never, but like never late is better. So it's like I understand that, but also like the biggest names in the playoffs. I mean, I guess because the biggest team is the Knicks, obviously.
Sure.
And then I guess, but like the biggest name or the one that they're trying to push the most would, besides SGA, would be Ant. So like, even if it was like Ant versus the Knicks or whatever, I don't see that being like, to your water cooler logic, I don't really even see that being the case. So it's like, you see what I'm saying? I don't really know. It's like a lose-lose. Like if you're going for like a popularity contest kind of thing, nobody here is kind of fits the bill for real besides the Knicks. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I think that's why that's why it's important for the Knicks to be in it for that right there. And don't get me wrong, I'm not. I would like to see the Knicks and the Wolves because I think that there's a lot of storylines there. But I mean, in terms of popularity, I don't think that the Knicks. I mean, I don't think that the NBA has done a good enough job at pushing guys like SGA. I don't think they've done a good enough job. And the reason why they haven't done it is because they failed in the past. They failed with Zion, right? They failed.
That's on them, though. You got to pick the right people.
Yeah, they picked the wrong. They failed with Zion. They failed with Ja. So, okay, we got to be real careful how we push these guys forward because, again, this is a small market, and we can't keep pushing guys who we're going to end up failing again. I think it's more of a fear thing with them.
But how they supposed to know? Like Brax, you just said that's on them. They got to pick the right people. Picking Zion was the right pick. But what do you mean? Nobody knows he's gonna be drinking 7-Ups on the toilet and eating po' boys.
Kids in the bathroom is crazy. I heard that. I said, "There's no way."
Like, come on, bro. What y'all mean? Picking you can't go wong picking Zion. That was the right pick.
No, let me rephrase that.
Fucking buffet lines up.
You're right. Zion and Ja, they the right pick. I think a part of picking is also you need to learn when to pivot. So, like the Zion project, not to say it failed, but it's like, okay.
It did.
Well, you could say it failed.
It did.
But I wouldn't be mad if you said it failed. But even if you are a bit optimistic like me, like saying it still could work, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your eggs on Zion. Like he's showing he could be the face of the league. He could be the person that we push, but at the same time, he not holding up his end of the bargain. Meanwhile, we got this 6'11" Serbian guy who's averaging the triple-double. Let's show, you feel me? Let's show the people him.
And not many people care about him neither, on top of that.
Exactly.
Not many people care about what's going on with him. And I feel like they should more than they do. And that's because this isn't about basketball. Remember what this is about, Brax. This is about money. This is about pushing people forward. And Brax, you can't relate to a 6'11" Serbian dude.
I can't relate to a 6'4" Canadian either. I mean 6'6" Canadian. I can't relate to none of these guys.
But you can relate to a 6'6" basketball player that looks like you though. You can relate to him. You can't really relate to a 6'11" Serbian who is amazing, by the way, at basketball. But if you saw this dude on the street, you'd be like, "Who is that?"
Chill, you got to remember, chill. Brax is 5'7". So
yeah, I keep forgetting that.
5'7" is ridiculous. Yeah. Hey, not everybody could be 8'6", my guy. Like just because you giant don't mean I'm short. Like let's not do that.
Hey, Brax, before I let you go, I do want to say congratulations on the basketball team making to the Western Conference Finals.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man.
I hope Ant don't break your hearts. You know what I'm saying?
I hope you don't either.
I mean, going up
on Saturday. I watched that game on Thursday. Like it was 9 of y'all out there. I was like, where the hell are the holes at? How we supposed to score against these dudes?
I'm watching this, right? I'm watching this, and I'm looking like, oh man, y'all should do this. Get the ball, go, do this. I'm like, shit, I'm happy. I'm just saying, I'm happy it ain't me.
Nope.
Like, bro,
Ox coming up with plans. And it's like, nope. That ain't gonna work, bro.
I'm telling you,
Ox coming up with another plan. Nope, that's not gonna work.
Some of the best I've ever seen, bro. This third quarter defense, I get excited every time I see it. It's like a fucking switch. Like you can't do anything, bro. We got 6 or 7 possessions in a row where we get a steal. It's amazing, bro.
None of these dudes out here. Yep. All right, Brax. Good talk to you, brother.
All right, peace, man.
Damn, my dude Ox is out. My dude Ox is drawing up shit. Nope, that's not gonna work. Okay, let's try this. Nope, that's not gonna work neither.
Finch got one of those old school trash cans, the little small ones, the ones with the little holes in it that be on the desk, the metal ones. He got one of those, and it's just nothing but just he drawing it up. No, that ain't gonna work. Hell no. I mean, it's overflowing. It's overflowing with just paper balls at this point. You know what I'm saying? He up late. He got the little overhead light. He just like this all night. God, man, what am I gonna do? Oh man, shit. We not gonna talk about Domantas Sabonis.
let's discuss Domantas Sabonis, Ox.
We don't got to. I'm just, let's not. As a matter of fact, let's not. Let me move on. I need to let it go. Let me go ahead and just bring Leaf Diggy up real quick. Let me stop because it ain't no point.
Yeah. What up?
Yo, Leaf, what's good?
As I said, I've been talking to y'all for almost 3 years. I said, and when it comes to the topic of the NBA pushing the young talent, I've said and I've told Chilltown time and time again, they are bad at what they do. This is
This
why
regime,
everything.
right? This regime, like the Adam
This
Silver regime.
regime, yes, the Adam Silver regime, bro. Like when it comes to pushing the young talent, they're bad at what they do. They have grabbed on to the scrotum of LeBron James and Steph Curry for too long. And they're not, and they don't refuse to let go. But because them finishing in All NBA second team is ridiculous over Cat and what Cat and Kate has done this season is utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. We already know the media is on the LeBron and Steph Curry train, hook, line, and sinker. But for them to keep remaining on that train is utterly ridiculous. But I want to talk about the series. Both of these series are sweeps. I said that before the shit started. The Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves are completely inferior than the teams that they're playing. Yeah, listen, Chill, you know about the war of attrition. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that. You got up early, you did your pull-ups, man. You look like you like 51. You look like you in tip top. Bobby, you get up in the morning. Bobby, you get up in the morning, man. You go walking and everything, man. But you still look like shit. But at the same time, you still do what you do. But at the same time, we understand about the war of attrition. You know what I'm saying? And the Indiana Pacers, bro, have proven in round one and round two and in round three, they have survived the what has not been survivable. They've survived 40-point games from Donovan Mitchell. They've survived the Gary Trent game when he was going off. They've survived all of that. And slowly and quiet as kept, they are becoming the most clutch offensive team down the stretch of these games in this playoffs. It's not just Tyrese Halliburton. It's not just Siakam. It's not just Neesmith. It's all of them collectively on the offensive side of the ball. They know what they're doing in the last 2 to 3 minutes of these games. And when you got an undertaker like coach like Tom Thibodeau trying to counter react that, man, with his dumb ass, man, go ask Lou Deng, go ask Joe Kim Noah, go ask Derrick Rose. They will put your ass in a casket.
Is that the
Playing
last
40
time
something.
Is that the last time we seen that Nick team in Madison Square Garden last night? Is
Yes,
that the last time we
it
seen
is.
it?
Yes, it is.
Are we
Yes,
coming
it is.
back? Are we coming back?
No,
to
we're
New York?
not. No, we're not.
You
No,
are.
we're not.
You convinced we are not coming back to New York.
We are not coming back to New York, bro. They have won They have won this game of chess easy. They have won this game of chess easily, bro. That like this. It's not a coincidence that Indiana has stayed in these games the past 2 games, and you've got the best out of Tom and Jerry and the little engine that could. For those of y'all that don't know, Tom and Jerry is cat and mouse. That's Cat and Brunson and Bunsen or whatever the hell you want to call them, bro. Like they now that they got to play. Now that they got to play defense and they can't stand around and they have to move, the distance traveled when you're playing the Indiana Pacers, bro, is more uptight. You got to run around for 48 minutes. You got to switch for 48 minutes. They're running simple action. They're running pick and dives. They're running a pick and curl. They're running a pick and fade. They're running simple shit. And the Knicks are tired come down to the last 5 minutes of these games. You're seeing it. You're seeing what they're running, bro. Like Mitchell Robinson going out there and putting all his energy on the offensive boards for all of these quarters, and then comes fourth quarter, bro. He can't move anybody out of the way. You're seeing what's going on. They get tired late in games. The coach, Rick Carlisle knows it. Halliburton knows it. We all know it. We all see what's going on. The Knicks are an inferior team to this Indiana Pacers team. Now to get to the Minnesota part of things, Minnesota, man, I appreciate what they've done, but they run into a team that's just better than them. This is the all-time great team in Oklahoma City Thunder, man, and they're about to do the unthinkable. They're about to
What's
finish.
the unthinkable?
They are about to not lose another game in this playoffs, Bobby. There's
They're about to-
nobody
they're about
that's
to-
beating
they're
them.
That's not the unthinkable because we've seen teams run. We've seen teams go deep in the playoffs. So I mean, they've won. They've lost. They already lost what 3 games? Yeah, they lost 3 games in these playoffs. So we've seen teams run the table. I saw the Lakers run the table in the Western Conference. Right. I saw the Warriors run the table in the Western Conference. So that's happened. So they're not doing the unthinkable. But I've also seen teams go down 2-0, and when we go to our building, it looks different. What I'm not going to do, Leaf, is I'm not going to sit here like I didn't watch the Miami Heat get their asses handed to them in 2006 against the Dallas Mavericks, and everybody was like, this series is over. Dwayne Wade and Shaq made this thing a series in Game 3. All you got to do is win 1 game. That's it. All you got to do is win 1 game and turn this into a series. That's all you got to do. Game 3 tonight is going to tell me everything about this Minnesota series. It's going to tell me whether or not we get moved deep into the series, 6-7 games, or we ain't coming back to Oklahoma City.
I got one question on you. Who on either one of these losing ass teams is 06 D Wade?
Who of them? Which one of them is it?
Which one of them?
I mean, I think Anthony Edwards is I think Anthony Edwards is the best.
Listen close, Bobby. You're gonna love this.
Right. I think Anthony Edwards is the best iteration. I think he's a guy who can get busy. I think he's a guy who can just go off. The Heat didn't see anybody in terms of defense like what they saw with Oklahoma City. So I'm not gonna argue that point. No, I'm not gonna argue that point. But what I am gonna argue is Julius Randle being better, because he was great in game 1. He was awful in game 2. So Julius Randle has to be better, because what I can't do is I can't rely on Julius Randle to just be my guy. Because if Julius Randle is my guy, we're not going to win. But I also can't rely on him to just be what he was in game 2. I got to get the Julius Randle that I've gotten in these playoffs. Once I do that, and once Ant plays better, because I feel like what I got, if I can get the game I got in game 1 from Julius Randle and the game 2 I got from Ant, if we can put those two together, plus what I got from my rotation players, and Naz Reid makes some more shots, because he has not been good in this series at the long ball line. If I can get that, I think this series will be more competitive. And when we get down to 2 possession games, when we doing that, I mean, then I think it can go either way. But it's just different now because Oklahoma City just looks so superior because they got guys who aren't playing well.
But
I think both of these series are about to be tied 2-2.
I think both of these series is about to be Brumans, bro. Like, ain't none of these teams winning. And I think the finals, it is terrible for the NBA. But that's before I
real quick, Leaf, it wouldn't only be bad for the NBA. That's bad content.
Terrible.
It is bad content.
I need seven games.
Yeah, we ain't got nothing.
It is bad. It is bad content. But Bobby, don't stray away, bro, because you got more basketball to this. Right now, the Indiana Fever and the New York Liberty is playing in the championship. New York Liberty that won a championship in Barclays Center, by the way, is playing, bro. You was out here.
I know. I was there. I ain't see you nowhere.
You ain't see me nowhere.
I seen Breezy.
I pulled up, bro.
Easy. I ain't seen Lee Biggie.
Your ass skipped down and got on the damn first flight. You got on the first flight.
Hey, Leaf in the house.
He was in your city, Leaf. He was in your city.
I was outside. How is it that a 6'8" nigga could disappear in less than 3 seconds?
He was outside.
I never seen no shit like that.
He was outside.
But before we go forward, Nafisha Collier, she took what happened to her in the other league. She took that very, very personally, from what I'm hearing, and she took the championship loss very, very personally because they thought a lot of fouls wasn't being called, this, that, and the third. So Nafisha Collier is out for blood, and
we see it.
And she is clearly. I said it while the season was going on last year. She is clearly number 2 in this league. And she's looking.
So 2 things before we move forward, Leaf. 2 things before we move forward. Number 1, her name is Collier. That's number 1. Number 2, Leaf. How much would you enjoy watching these Knicks go down in flames?
I mean, very much so. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you asked me that, bro. Like somebody the other day talked about how the Knicks got a player from every team on the 4 teams left in the front. I'm like, so what? In case y'all don't win, y'all gonna co-sign who do win? Like, if y'all gonna co-sign Hartenstein, and then that's what we do. Nobody cares, bro. Y'all got Tom and Jerry. Y'all got an Undertaker as a head coach. Y'all not doing anything.
Peace. Oh, man.
Yo, Leaf is entertainment for your ass, boy.
Real quick, I'm gonna get to you in 2 seconds. Classic. I see you right there. I need to read a couple of super chats.
Yes, sir.
Johannes Charles says Spike Lee, chopped cheese, Hallie step back 3, Pacers in 5. Nothing better than seeing these sorry Knick fans in tears. Respect my Pacers, Ox.
When they won the semifinals and they beat the Celtics, like they was outside. Like we had a parade outside. It was wild as hell. Ox, we go from that to it's crickets in New York. Come on, guys. Get it together.
Man. Your Highness Charles also said it would be amazing content to see them sorry front-runner Knick fans go down in tears. That alone, see Hallie dancing on their tears, is a win. Your Highness Charles, he
They got to
really,
win tomorrow night,
really.
yo. And I think
They
they
have
know
to.
that. I think the Knicks know that they can't come in. We can't come in. We can't go back. Or we can't come in here tomorrow night down 3-0. We got to win tomorrow night. We have to. No matter what.
A pimp named Slickback said, I'm at Brunson Ave right now, and it's so quiet outside today. What's going on, y'all? Go New York, go New York, go. Why everyone stop celebrating?
Because their team losing. That's why. It ain't sweet
Yo,
no more.
Yo, Knicks fans, they calling y'all out right now.
Yeah, it ain't sweet no more. It was sweet a little while ago.
Hey, Knicks fans, you want to come out here?
Yeah, it ain't sweet no more.
Tupac Westside says, getting more excited as the playoffs go on. Side note, I saw Tyrese interview on Inside. Dude is beyond humble.
He's the real deal. He is. He 100% is the real deal. No doubt.
Chill, you remember last year we was talking about Tyrese on Chill with Chill. We were talking about Tyrese Halliburton and his father, actually. It's funny that all this happened with his pops, because last year we was talking about it. Something happened. I remember Tyrese's pops was in the tunnel. Was in the tunnel before the game. Yep. And he was grabbing at some of the players. He was talking, he was talking to them, hyping them up and stuff. And we were both talking about Tyrese plays basketball the way his pops acts on the sideline.
Yes.
You remember that conversation?
I remember vaguely. I don't remember a lot of it, but I do remember what he was talking about. So basically, his father was like a hype man, but the way he is the fan on the sideline, that's what Tyrese Halliburton as a player is on the court. I mean, I do remember some of it, and yeah. His pops is necessary. He had a brain fart. Don't get me wrong. He did. He had a brain fart, but let's see if we can get him back in effect.
AJ, I see you in the chat. Yes, I still think Fox is better. Yes, I do. 100% I do. Oh, you know what? That's what I meant to say earlier, Chill, about the whole Pascal thing. You know that is eating me up right now. Oh, we were this fucking this close. We almost had him.
Well, here's the thing, Ox, and you were, which I think is kind of interesting, because you didn't think you thought this would be the other way around with this Knicks Indiana series. Like this is what you saw the Knicks doing, as opposed to what Indiana's doing, and it's mind blowing. Don't get me wrong. I ain't have Indiana going into New York and winning both of those games. No, I didn't have that. No.
Yeah. The fact that they went and did that in Madison Square, I probably got Indiana in 7 now. But I don't think the Knicks are done. I don't think they're laying down. I think they'll go get these. Definitely this game tomorrow night.
They can't lay down, Ox. They can't.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we got a super chat right here from D-Mac. He says, are the Knicks players intimidated playing at Madison Square Garden?
That might be the case, because there's a lot of pressure in Madison Square Garden. You got Celebrity Row. You got the New York media. Cat's from Jersey, so you got all your people there. Brunson, his pops is from the area. His pops went to Temple, played for the Knicks. So it could be a pressure cooker, no doubt about that. It could definitely be a pressure cooker. But with that being said, you got to find minutes for them other dudes. You do.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get back to the lobby. We got Classic coming in now. What up, Classic?
Yo, what up, guys?
What up?
What up? Real quick before I get to the NBA, in regards to the WNBA, Nafisa Collier, she's the best player in the WNBA, and she was last year. And when I went into the playoffs, I was rooting for the New York Liberty to win. But after the championship was done, I was disgusted at how the WNBA gifted them that championship, because they shouldn't have won that game. The Minnesota Lynx got robbed, and Collier, she had Stewie locked up that whole series. But in regards to the NBA, I had told y'all that I thought the Knicks were going to get swept, because I think that the Pacers are just a better team.
You said that? And swept? I don't know if you said swept.
I definitely said I said it on Thursday.
I don't ever remember you saying swept. No.
Yeah, I definitely said that. But Ox, man, you pointed it out last night, man. Mitchell Robinson, he was gassed. And that was my only concern about the Pacers sweeping them. I was like, man, Mitchell Robinson is a dog on the glass. Like, what can they do about that? And in game 1, he was still dominating the glass. So I was like, man, that might get him in game 2. But then I was like, well, wow, if you wear him out, then he's not gonna dominate the glass. And seeing him tired like that, I was like, man, that's a plus for the Pacers, because if he's gonna be tired like that, then I definitely think that the Knicks are gonna get swept. And then Pascal Siakam, he's always been good to me. He's always good at attacking mismatches. And anytime you put somebody small on him, it's gonna be a bucket. And then if you put somebody big on him, he's great in the mid range. And then with this Minnesota series, I think it's done too. I wanted to see Ant and them play good, but I just don't think they play good together. Rudy Gobert, he's getting dominated by Isaiah Hartenstein, and he's not dominating the glass like I thought he was. So I think that series is over too.
I thought he would too. We'll see. Like I said, tonight's going to tell me everything about this crew. Tonight is. It's going to tell me everything about this Minnesota team that I need to know tonight.
No doubt, no doubt. That's all you had, Classic?
All right, brother.
Yeah, that's all I had, man. I hope Minnesota can get one tonight. But yeah, I'm ready to see the Indiana and OKC series, and then I'm ready for Nafisa. She's gonna win MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP this year.
So Minnesota's winning it. All right, that's what's up. All right, brother. Good to talk
all right,
to
man.
you.
Y'all have a good one.
Yep.
Chill. You think Asia going for that?
No, Asia Wilson is the best player in the NBA. In the WNBA.
Y'all think Asia going for that? Y'all better stop it. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I got nothing but love for Nafisa. I think she's an incredible awesome basketball player.
Yes,
but I want y'all to know one thing right now. Jewel Lloyd has not arrived yet. She's still working her way into things right now. You know what I'm saying? That knee injury last season, you know what I'm saying, really set her back. Now, y'all give her another week or two. Y'all gonna see. Chelsea Gray's playing amazing, like we expect her to. Jackie Young is playing amazing, like we expect her to. Asia Wilson is doing what she has to do. Jewel's coming. You'll see. But anyways, though, chill. Yep. Let's before we get out of here, let's talk about tonight. Yep. Today, what do we got? Minnesota, they're in a must-win situation, back at home in the Target Center. Right, yes, Target Center. They're home at the Target Center. What do they need to do? Is it about stopping Shea, or is it about stopping the other guys? Are they fine with just guarding Shea, but just making sure that nobody else is scoring 15 plus? How do they beat this team?
Exactly what you just said, Ox. They got to slow down those other guys. Like J-Dub can't go for 26, and Chet can't go 19 and 11. Hartenstein can't go 15 and 7. They can't have their rotation guys outscore Minnesota's bench. That's going to be the difference. So going into Minnesota, the energy more than anything has to change. Ant can't come out slow. Ant can't come out lackadaisical. Ant's got to be on top of his game right from the beginning, and make it clear that this is going to be a fight. And I am going to be in, like when he was pushing LeBron James, that's the kind of energy that he has to bring early. And that kind of energy has to be there the entire game. Not for a stretch. No, we are here. This is what you're going to get all night long. This is the kind of physicality. This is the kind of effort. This is the kind of, they got to speed the pace up of the game. They got to get easier buckets. They have to slow down guys like I said, they got to slow down guys like Isaiah Joe. They got to slow down guys like Wiggins. They got to slow down Hartenstein. Rudy Gobert's got to do a better job in getting on the glass. So all of these things that I'm watching from Minnesota that they didn't do in game 2, they got to do it in game 3. Julius Randle has to be better. So we're going to find out, Ox. We're going to find out what type of crew we got here. We do.
What I really hope, because regardless, I just want a good series. Of course, these four teams doesn't much matter. I do think that there's certain matchups I would like to see Knicks versus Minnesota or Indiana versus OKC. I think those would probably be the best matchups for the finals. But more importantly, I just want to see some good basketball, some adjustments being made. Like, I want to see if Coach Finch and his coaching staff can really come up with something. That's what I want to see today. I want to see this team make an adjustment to be able to compete in this series, whether they win or lose. I want to see Coach Finch do some coaching. I want to see the same thing in New York. I want to see Coach Tibbs dig into the bench a little bit, get pressure some minutes. Somebody said in the chat, made me think they got DeLon Wright sitting on the bench too. I mean, he's a vet. I mean, let's see if he can come in there and shake things up for a few minutes. I want to see Tibbs try something new. I want to see Tibbs evolve.
Rick Carlisle got Bradley on the floor. You could dig in that bench, Coach. You could dig in that bench. There's some guys on that bench going, yo, I can help these dudes win, man. There's some guys on your bench, Tibbs, that are saying to themselves, put me in, coach. I can help us. Give me some run, coach. I can help us. Now, I understand that there's instances where, guys, they think they know what's best. In this particular situation, they do. There's guys on your bench that are sitting over there looking at the game and looking at you going, coach, put me in, man. I can help us. I can do something out here.
I mean, that's why you got a coaching staff, right?
Yep. That's exactly.
That's what I thought. I mean, I know you don't just got a bunch of guys over there just to, look good on the bench.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
No.
well, we got to tap into that, Chill. We definitely do. That's pretty much all we had on the docket today. It's about that time anyway. Good show. Chill, you got anything else you wanted to get into?
Not really. I did see one thing that I thought was interesting, Ox, and I don't know if I sent it to you, but Scottie Pippen said when Jordan said, when you speak Michael Jordan, you have to speak Scottie Pippen. And Scottie Pippen said when he heard that it meant the world to him that Jordan said that about him. And the reason why is because Scottie's whole existence is the only reason why you're nice is because you was running with this dude. It's like, wait a minute.
Right.
And Jay saying, okay, hold on. I mean, as good as you think I am, this dude I was running with was pretty fantastic too. And I think you need to start paying more attention to him. As good as I am and as good as good an effort as I gave, this dude I was running with was awesome. And to get recognized like that, I definitely respect Scottie for feeling that way. Because Ox, when you awesome and all your entire existence, that's all you got to hear was like, the only reason why you was that good is because of this dude. It's like, wait a minute, no, I was better than that.
I think it's perfectly fine for Scottie to want that too. I mean, he was a incredible basketball player, and I think there's nothing wrong. Like, for instance, yesterday on the show, Chill, we were talking about, I said something to Jordan about, my high school team would have did this or whatever, and you said something about how y'all would have beat Jordan and them. And there was some people in the chat that was kind of like, oh, y'all reliving this, whatever. Hell yeah, because those times were great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's cool, man. Like, I'm thinking back. I mean, I used to be a good basketball player, and I'm like, shit. I like remembering that. You know what I'm saying? Those were good times. You know what I'm saying? So for Scottie Pippen to feel how we feel, he won 6 championships. He played at the highest level. He was one of the best players of all time. He should not be embarrassed to want to want to remember that and feel appreciated for that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to be embarrassed about. You know what I'm saying? Scottie Pippen was amazing, and he wants to be loved and appreciated for that.
Ox, you did other things in your life, but let's not take away from, I did do this. That did happen, right? You did do other things in your life. You did play basketball in other spaces. You became a father. You became a husband. You did do other things. It wasn't like this is all you did. You ain't do nothing else in your life. Yes, I did do other things, but even though it was years ago, let's not negate that. Doesn't negate the fact that I still did that.
Right.
That still happened 100%. And Scottie Pippen definitely wants to be recognized that, I was on a team that won an NBA championship 6 times, and I was a big ass deal when that was going on. I was a big ass deal, and it's okay to be recognized as that. Hell yes.
I don't think people understand. Like, I was young. I was young at this time, but Scottie Pippen was the dude. Like, I don't think these youngsters realize who Scottie Pippen was at this time. Like, Scottie Pippen was an absolute superstar. He was amazing at basketball, and people loved Scottie Pippen. They look at it now and they laugh at Scottie because of Lars's escapades. They laugh at Scottie because he says things that people don't agree with. They laugh at Scottie. They say he was a sidekick. Scottie Pippen was a superstar. He was the man.
And the best thing that happened, and I know we got to move on, but I know the best thing that happened to Scottie was when Jordan left, because I didn't know he was that good, Ox. I didn't until Jay left. And I've come to find out, oh, shit, this dude is better than I thought he was. So once Jay comes back, and Jay even recognized that this dude is a lie. I told y'all how good this dude was. I told y'all. Now y'all seeing it. Y'all think that it's just me. It's not. This dude is awesome too. So, man, shout out to Scottie Pippen, But I know we got to move on. It was good to see you guys today. Y'all know where to find us at. We're here. We keep it going. So we will see you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, Call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. If you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, hey, hit my boy up. He'll come get you. He'll scoop you up. No doubt about that. So we will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It's good to see you guys.
All right, y'all. That was Saturday's show. We will be back on Thursday. Y'all know where to find us. We right here. If you're looking for us anywhere else, we'll be here on Monday on the panel. Don't be late. Come check us out. It's going to be a lot of good basketball talk. We got two games this weekend, so y'all be ready to check us out on Monday. As always, y'all, love yourself, drink some water, and never, ever, ever drink and drive. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Later. Absolutely. That was dope.